Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Jordan from Team Delirium. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my Thunder family for the January 2014 format, and just to let you guys know, this is post Legacy of the Valiant because it will be coming out in a couple of days, so I have already updated the deck to accommodate that. Anyways, I've tested the Thunder Family deck for quite some time. I pretty much know every variant there is for the Thunder Family deck, and I've come to enjoy playing the Watt Family Control variant the most. I just find that it's the most consistent, and it produces some of the best advantage plays that the deck has to offer. So let's just get right into the build. So I'm running 3 Thunder Seahorse. The reason that you have to run 3 of this is because it becomes a search target for itself when you run 3, and it's also easier to draw into it. So you definitely want to be able to draw into this card, so you need to run 3. But its effect, if you don't know, discard it from your hand, add 2 level 4 light thunder type monsters with the same name and 1600 or less attack from your deck to your hand. So very good card. Only downside is you can't special summon. Next is 2 Maw Hunter, 2 Paw Hunter. I'm only running 2 and 2 of both of these because I'm running the 2 Photon Thrashers, so in the end I'm still running a total of 6 cards to draw into that can start all of my combos. If I happen to draw into the Maw Hunter or the Paw Hunter, then I can still search for my Cobras, my Giraffes, my Violent Prisms, anything else that is Thunder in the deck. I have so many search targets that if I already have a Maw or Paw in hand, it doesn't really hurt me in any way. I can just search for something else. Also, the benefit to running the 2 Photon Thrashers over the 3rd Maw and 3rd Paw is that it's not as susceptible to Valor, and Valor is a lot more prevalent this format because one of the best decks is Fire Fists. So I kind of wanted to counter that a little bit by running the Photon Thrashers. So 2 Maw, 2 Paw, and 2 Photon Thrasher. Not in the exact order that it's placed here, but yeah. And then of course I run a small Watt engine, so 3 Watt Cobras. The reason that I like this over Syshunder is that personally I don't like the fact that Syshunder recycles the Thunder Seahorse back to hand. Basically what that says that you want to do is you want to use Thunder Seahorse again next turn, which means that you won't be able to special summon for another turn. I find that very bad, whereas Watt Cobra can get you the same +2 that you can get with Syshunder, but the difference is that you can still special summon the next turn. So, like, when using the Syshunder, you can still special summon the next turn as well, but you won't be able to use that Thunder Seahorse that you recycled, so it can become a bit of an issue. So I just prefer the Watt Cobras a little bit better. Also, it just adds another little element of control to the deck, which Syshunder doesn't really provide, because you can play the Messengers of Peace, which is really effective. 2 Watt Giraffes. I find this is actually incredibly useful against Boojins, and the reason I say that is because if you get an attack through with Watt Giraffe first and then try and attack to their Yamato with something bigger, they're not going to be able to activate Honest, they're not going to be able to activate the Crane or anything like that to protect their Yamato, so he's basically just going to die. So that becomes really useful against Boojins. So 2 Watt Giraffes, 2 Violent Prisms. He's the tuner of the deck. He's a level 4 light thunder type monster, and he becomes a target for Maw and Paw to summon and basically make instant level 8 plays. Also, the other really good thing about him is that you can pay 500 life points when he's sent from the monster card zone to the graveyard to equip to his synchro on the field, and then that monster gains 1000 attack during the damage step. So it makes your synchro plays really difficult to get over. For Scrap Dragon, for instance, it gives him a free target to pop instead of having to go minus. Also, with Stardust Spark Dragon, he becomes near impossible to kill because he basically becomes a 3500 attack monster that can protect himself, which is ridiculous, which is pretty much the whole reason to play this deck. As I said earlier, the 2 Photon Thrashers, I like this over the 3rd Maw and Paw because it's less susceptible to Valor, and then to round off the monsters, the 1 Honest, because everything so far has been light. For spells, we run 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. It's just really important in this format. Hits Tenki, hits Abyssphere, hits the Spellbook Tower and Standby phase, and also hits anything that people side in for you for this deck. So skill drains, people will be using Vanity's Emptiness against you, Mistake possibly, Light Imprisoning Mirror, Fiendish Chains. It hits everything like that that this deck struggles with, so really important to run at 3. 3 Pot of Duality, just it pairs really well with the Thunder Seahorse. Every time you use Thunder Seahorse, you can't special summon anyways, so activate a Pot of Duality just for the extra consistency. Also, the deck is very slow, and you'll find yourself just normal summoning a Watt Cobra just on his own, just to attack for the extra +1, so during those turns, Pot of Duality is very useful as well. The 2 Messengers of Peace, we do run a mini Watt engine in this deck, so running Messenger of Peace makes sense. Basically creates a small lock where you can attack to gain advantage with Cobras and Giraffes, and your opponent can't attack back, which is really nice. 2 Recycling Batteries, basically salvage for Thunder type monsters. You don't want to run 3 of this because it's more of an early game, or it's more of a mid to late game card. If you draw into this in your opening hand, it's kind of terrible because you don't really have anything that you can target in your graveyard with it. So you definitely want to see this mid to late game rather than early game. So 2 is just right, 3 is too many. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. This is another reason why I like running the Photon Thrashers, is because I can run an extra search card just to make the deck even more consistent. So this is mainly, this is almost purely just to grab Photon Thrashers. So that's why I run that. 1 Book of Moon for obvious reasons, and 1 Dark Hole for obvious reasons. For the trap lineup, 2 Mirror Force, amazing this format, have to run 2. 2 Fiendish Chains, amazing, have to run 2. 2 Vanity's Emptiness. The reason I'm running 2 Vanity's Emptiness in this deck, in the main deck, is because it actually works extremely well in this deck. You run your primary searching card discards from the hand, meaning that it doesn't conflict with the Vanity's Emptiness. Also, the deck's main goal is to go into Stardust Spark Dragon. So having this with the Stardust Spark Dragon on field is pretty much game over for your opponent, because you have a 3500 beater that can protect Vanity's Emptiness, can protect the Prism, and can also protect himself. So very ridiculous combo. 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 1 Torrential Tribute, also amazing in this deck because you run the Stardust Spark Dragon and you go into Omega quite a bit. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, and 1 Solemn Warning. So 40 card main deck, 17 monsters, 13 spells, and 10 traps. For the extra deck, we run the 1 Crimson Blader. A 3800 Crimson Blader is really good, and it's still really strong against certain decks such as Mermails and Girgia Karakuri. Both of those decks are hurt by the Crimson Blader quite a bit, so great card to run. Scrap Dragon, like I said before, the Violent Prism becomes a 500 cost target to pop for Scrap Dragon, so you don't actually need to go minus. You can just pop the Prism instead, which is really cool. Thought Ruler Archfiend, he can't be targeted by spells or traps. I find this card is extremely good in time. It's won me a lot of games just by bumping up my life points in time, so I've never dropped this guy, probably never will. He's one of the best level 8 synchros in the game. Stardust Shining Dragon, or Stardust Spark Dragon, I guess, as he's called right now. The reason you run this over regular Stardust in this deck is that regular Stardust conflicts with Vanity's Emptiness, and also when you tribute him to send him to grave to negate destruction, the Prism falls off and he becomes a 2500 beater from that point on. So Stardust Shining Dragon is a lot better in that respect. Also, he's a target to go into under Gozen Match, which is really important. For your Exceeds, you run the 1 Evil Swarm Ouroboros, really good card. The 1 Violent Sigma, a lot of people don't run this. I really do like it. If it survives for more than 1 turn, it can absorb multiple different attributes and become a catastor for all of those attributes, so a really good card. Evil Sora Logia, if you look at my side deck, I am running 2 DNA Surgeries. So DNA Surgery, Maw into something else like a Cobra to go into Logia is pretty ridiculous. It's also good against a lot of decks like Boojins and Prophecies and Noble Knights, surprisingly, because they have to equip to Warriors. So the 2 Omega, the reason I'm running 2 is because it's definitely a back row format, so Omega is definitely a good choice. I've considered running an M7 because I'm running the 2 Omega, but I find that that's a bit overkill, but it's still an option. The Silent Honors Arknight, I use this to replace Maestroke. I find that this is just like all around a better card than Maestroke. It basically does what Maestroke does, but better. So definitely running one of this. 2 Starleash Paladynamo, amazing card, best card in your extra deck. Gets over pretty much anything, and then it becomes a floater from that point on. The Exciton Knight, or Belzebuth as it's still called on DevPro. This card is absolutely ridiculous. I hate to say this, but this is a card that has become an extra deck staple after Legacy of the Valiant. I know Dick Silent Enigma has tried to say that it isn't, but pretty much this is one of those cards that it's pretty much a Black Rose for Xyz monsters. If you're falling behind, you can bring out Belzebuth and it evens the odds a bit more. So I feel that this card has to be run in any deck that can make rank 4s. Abyss Dweller, for obvious reasons, for the Mermails and the Dark World players out there. Galgaga Cowboy, because he gets over pretty much anything by attacking, and then he can also burn for game, so really good card. For the side deck, I run the 1 Thunder King Ryo. While it does hurt me in the main deck, while it is in my control, it is fairly easy to play around. This is also a card that could be sided against me, which is terrible because if I don't control it, I can't play around it. But this hurts a lot of decks more than hurts me because I can control it quite well, because I run a whole bunch of monsters that pair well with level 4 Light Thunder type monsters, which Thunder King Ryo is, so it just happens to work well when I play it. To the Calibrator, instant out to like Xyz problems. So it's a level 4 Light Thunder type monster that has 1500 attack. It's searchable, it's recyclable. It goes up to 2700 attack when something like Ophion is on the field. It gets over Master of Blades, which this deck has a problem with. It gets over Omega. It deals with a lot of problem Xyz, which is a really good thing. So 2 of that. 2 Maxis, 2 Effect Veilers, the 1 Twister, because like I said, most of the stuff that people side for you is face-up continuous stuff, so I feel like you need to run the Twister. Dimensional Fissure, Macro, and Soul Drain for graveyard-dependent decks. You can run all 3 of these and none of these hurt you. The only issue is you can't use your recycling batteries or your prism because of these, which doesn't really hurt you all that much. 2 Gozen Match, because everything in your deck is light, and the majority of your extra deck is light as well. And then 2 DNA Surgery, and I am main decking a Logia to pair with the DNA Surgery. So yeah, anyways guys, this is going to be my competitive build for the Thunder Family deck for post Legacy of Valiant, like once Legacy of Valiant comes out. It might take me a while to get the Exciton Knight and the Silent Arc, whatever his name is, Silent Honors Arknight, but just because they're so expensive. But I will get them eventually, and they will become a staple part of the deck. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what you think of the deck, and yeah, anyways, peace out guys, thanks for watching.